So, while you're out there vibrating at the frequency of wealth, your so called abundance coach is busy manifesting your rent money into their new Chanel bag. Seriously, you need to stop being the exit liquidity for a high vibe pyramid scheme. Look, I get it. The aesthetic is gorgeous, the private jets look real, and they're using all the right buzzwords to make you feel like your bank account is low only because your vibration is off. It's a classic bait and switch, you know? In this section, I'm exposing why these spiritual entrepreneurs are actually just predatory marketers who've replaced actual financial literacy with word salad. We're breaking down how they target working professional women like you by weaponizing your desire for a better life against your common sense. I've seen the reels, and I know you have too. They're standing on a balcony in Tulum, wrapped in linen, telling you that if you just unblocked your feminine flow, that $10,000 month would magically appear in your Chase account. But here is the reality check you didn't pay $2,222 for. Your vibration isn't the problem. Their predatory sales funnel is. I see so many brilliant, high-achieving women, corporate managers, nurses, creatives, trading their actual savings for a quantum leap mastermind that contains zero actual business strategy. It is a psychological trap, right? It's designed to make you feel like your lack of wealth is a personal, spiritual failure rather than a result of, a 7% inflation rate or a stagnant salary. They're selling you a feeling because they can't sell you an ROI. I mean, think about the math for a second. If these coaches were truly manifesting millions from the ether, why is their only identifiable source of income the $497 wealth consciousness PDF they're pushing in your DMs? You are being targeted because you're successful enough to have disposable income, but burnt out enough to want a shortcut. They use the law of attraction as a shield to deflect any criticism. If the course doesn't work, that's just because you had limiting beliefs. If you lose $5,000 on their coaching, well, you just didn't invest in yourself hard enough. It's a gaslighting masterclass wrapped in a pastel aesthetic, honestly. I'm tired of seeing smart women become the exit liquidity for people whose only real skill is using Canva and exploiting your brain.
And here is the genius part of the scam, the limiting belief trap. Honestly, it is the perfect grift because it's completely unfalsifiable. If you spend $5,000 on their wealth activation mastermind and your life still feels like a dumpster fire, well, they'll just tell you it's because you haven't fully integrated the teachings or you have a block you aren't willing to release. It's never the product that's broken. It's always your frequency. It's the ultimate gaslight because you can't prove your chakras are aligned, but they can certainly prove your credit card cleared. Let's be real for a second. Wealth is a psychological game of math, not magic. Compound interest doesn't care about your vibrational state, It doesn't give a damn about your vision board or how many crystals you have soaking in the moonlight. It cares about your principle and your time in the market. That $5,000 you just handed over for a PDF of affirmations could have been the seed for a diversified portfolio. At a conservative 8% average return, that $5,000 turns into nearly $50,000 over 30 years, without you ever having to manifest a single cent. Instead, that money is currently sitting in your coach's high-yield savings account while you're staring at a candle trying to attract more. I'm here to tell you that you don't have an ancestral money block. You have a 24% APR credit card balance and a lack of an automated investment strategy. These coaches will look you in the face and tell you to invest in yourself by going further into high-interest debt, which is a math battle they know you are guaranteed to lose. They're selling you magic to fix a problem that requires a simple calculator. But if you think the limiting belief trap is the most toxic part of this industry, wait until I show you the actual source of their abundance. Because, spoiler alert, it isn't coming from the universe, and it definitely isn't coming from the business strategies they claim to teach. So Step 3 is your 48-hour logic guard. You must promise me that you will never, and I mean never, purchase a mindset product within 48 hours of an emotional marketing pitch. Whether it's a limited time webinar or a high pressure discovery call, their entire sales funnel is specifically engineered to bypass your prefrontal cortex. They want your brain stuck in an emotional loop of scarcity, so you'll hand over your credit card before your logical mind can point out that the emperor is, well, completely naked. And finally, step 4, reclaim your authority. I want you to realize that true abundance isn't a feeling you buy from a guru. It's a balance sheet you build with discipline. The moment you stop looking for a money shaman is the moment you actually start becoming wealthy. But I haven't even told you the most embarrassing part of this whole charade yet. Because while they're teaching you to align with the frequency of wealth, the way they're actually moving your money from your pocket to theirs involves a psychological trick so dirty, it's practically standard operating procedure in the world of high-ticket cults. Let's run a simulation that your abundance coach would absolutely hate. Because while they're busy telling you to unblock your money chakras, I'm more interested in unblocking your common sense. I mean, they love to frame their $5,000 masterminds as an investment in your future, right? But let's look at what actually happens when you invest that money, instead of handing it over to a woman in Tulum who records her courses on an iPhone. Imagine you take that course capital, the money you were going to spend on the next quantum wealth alignment program, and you do something, well, incredibly boring. You put $500 a month into a low-cost S&P 500 ETF like V.
But here is the most sinister part of the simulation. Most people don't realize that these coaches are using a specific psychological weapon to make sure you never look at these numbers. They've built a fail-safe into their programs that ensures if the money doesn't show up, it's always your fault, never the strategy. And once you understand how this blame loop works, you'll realize why so many smart, professional women are getting trapped in these high-ticket cults for years. So, I'm going to be very honest with you. The most powerful wealth mindset you will ever possess isn't believing that money is some mystical energy waiting for you to vibrate higher. I mean, let's be real. That's just a bedtime story told by people who want your credit card number to fund their own lifestyle. Real wealth doesn't come from a manifestation portal or a $5,000 weekend retreat in Sedona, right? Real wealth is built in the boring middle. It's the 20% savings rate you stick to, even when you really want that designer bag. It's the low-fee index funds that quietly compound while you're sleeping. It's the long-term patience that isn't sexy enough for an Instagram reel, but it is the only thing that actually works. I need you to realize that you are far too smart and you have worked far too hard for your money to be someone else's passive income stream. Every time you buy into the quantum leap delusion, you aren't investing in your future. You're literally paying for your coach's next vacation. You are the customer, not the protege. If you're ready to stop funding their luxury and start building your own, then you belong here. On this channel, we deal in data, not delusions. We look at the compound interest tables, not the crystal balls. If you're officially done with the high vibe grift and you're ready to choose logic over